Speaking of gap filling, how did you two meet to connect these gaps?
Well, his life was dull and meaningless. He was just dribbling a basketball.
You guys want to know the real story?
Brey and Alex Johnson were once known for their lives on the basketball court. Brey is a standout player, 3-on-3 coach, and youth mentor. And Alex as the first Canadian drafted #1 in NBL Canada. But what happens when the playing days start to fade? From a viral love and basketball proposal to shaping the culture around the game, their story is evolving, and it's just getting interesting.
What are the keys to a successful relationship?
From the moment I saw him, I was in. Daddy, you know?
No, the reason why I asked the question is...
Are you dating?
Huh? I don't need dating advice. I was just saying because I was saying that...
Got people frazzled right now, shuffling the cards.
Do you both now have especially without basketball, do you have a better foundation of like, I know what I'm doing, or am I just exploring and seeing what happens? Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of You Only Die Twice. I'm your host, Warren Ward, and in this episode, I am joined by the Johnsons, Alex and Brey Johnson, as you can hear them. This is a really special episode as this is the first couple we've had on the podcast, two people that have found love through basketball, a real loving basketball story. You might have seen their viral video. And we go through their transitional journey as athletes into now parents. We talk about Alex's new content creation journey as well, and Brey's battle with cancer. This is not one to miss. But before we get started, the best way to support this podcast is to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, share with a friend. And without further ado, let's get into it.
When this is gone, I die.
Well, full disclaimer, you guys are our first couple on the pod, and I think that's dope. We wanted to do something a little different. We know two hoopers. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's an ad.
He's
screaming ad.
We heard
Our
that.
son is on set right now
Yeah.
watching Paw Patrol. He goes, ad, ad.
Oh, no.
But we started to do this 2 years ago as a way not only to like give back, but as a way to talk about something that is not discussed. Mm-hmm. And athlete transition and transition in general is not really discussed on anywhere. And I think it affects people differently, which is why we've had so many different stories with so many different athletes. Yep. And I thought it'd be interesting to talk to two people who have found love through the game of basketball.
So cute.
So that's why this is important to us, because we're essentially, talking about something that, doesn't get spoken about. Mm-hmm. So why is it important to you? Why is it important for you to be here, other than me asking you to be here?
You can go.
Ladies first.
Ladies first. Yeah.
Ladies first, always.
It's funny, like, now that I work in, like, the sport for development sector, I realize how important, like, just talking about our mental health is, and, like, realizing that sport really developed us into people who we are. And I know that growing up, I didn't have a woman role model. Like, I didn't have anyone. I just played with straight boys my whole life. So to be on something where I can, like, kind of figure it out as we go, where I can just talk about it. And then I've watched a couple episodes. No, it's really special. I sent a couple to my mom. I was like, Mom, check it out.
Appreciate
and
that.
It's just like the vulnerability to talk about it, because there's a lot more information than there was when I I was kind of transitioning out of basketball. But I'm really excited to kind of dive in, and I don't know, it's important to just talk and just kind of see where it takes you, where it's not so cookie cutter. Like there's no pre-made questions, right? We didn't get any questions.
No.
So it's just like, let's see what we get.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, I got the questions, but.
Well, you got.
Yeah. I didn't send them to you.
Why didn't you send them to me?
Because I know you're a content creator and you're good at this, and Brey can answer anything, so we're good. Why is it important to you, Alex?
It's a platform to talk about, the thing that we don't like talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the change, the transition, like. Even going through it right now, just like when basketball has been your first passion throughout your whole life, you're like, okay, well, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And like, I was thinking about just like when I was in college, I was like, man, I wish I wouldn't have been so tunnel vision.
I know, man.
Because like we get, so like locked into this one thing that like when it's over, it's like we're looking around like, okay, what do I do next?
I know.
And like now it's like how, you know, the NIL deals and everything, they've just made it so where these kids should not fail. Like,
which is amazing.
Yeah, it's like amazing. And I was like, man, like I wish I would have like, you know, got into acting while I was, you know, but I was so like locked in. It was like NBA or nothing, or like playing pro or it's over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wish I would have been like, all right, let me see if I can dabble over here or do something over here. That way, I think the transition would have been a lot smoother.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have been like up at night like, man, what's next? Or man, I just want to hoop forever. Because that's kind of like we think. We think about it like basketball has been so good to us, been able to travel the world, and you're like, I want to do it forever.
I know. Or find a way to be involved forever, you know, and there's very few things you can do, whether that's coaching or not. But Brey, you said something interesting just now, and I want to go back to it. You said you were just playing with boys. You didn't have any female, any female role models. What do you mean by that?
So I started basketball in 8th grade, and I played softball like my whole life.
Okay.
And it was just like boys. Like anytime there was basketball, it was always boys. Like there was a gym, there was an outdoor court and indoor court where I used to live in Florida, and it was just grown men ball. And I was like 15, playing with them. I got into fights. And I was talking about the one fight. And it was like kind of like survival of the fittest. And then I go into this like gym with girls, and I was like, whoa, like what is this? I never saw like a safe space for girls. And it was like an AU team practicing, and I was only in 10th grade, I think, when I started getting into the sector of like playing basketball. And I just realized that, you know, while it was cool, because again, when girls compete or women compete, they need something to keep them in the space other than a ball or the gym. They need community, they need friends, they need a role model. With guys, in order for them to compete first, they just need a gym. Like they compete first and then they connect after.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So
that's
for in softball, I didn't have a connection there, so that's why I left it. I saw the connection, I saw the friends, the community in that gym, and that's what made me pick basketball. So guys don't need that.
No, that's true.
And most women, I'm not going to say all women, because I don't think like Juju Watkins needs that. You know what I mean? She's a different.
I don't think Rachel Hill needs that.
No, Rachel don't need that. But we need something in the space. Like I even tell my girls in program, like they like the snacks, and that's why they come. Like we have good snacks, and girls need a space.
And stuff.
So
got them Lace chips and stuff, huh?
Facts. So yeah, you just need a space where you can feel welcomed, and again, I can now be what I didn't have growing up.
Nice. That's very noble of you. I love that.
I try to do my best. HR approved.
Now you two are, well, I knew Alex before you, so I knew Alex when I moved here. I knew of him.
In London, right?
No, I moved from London to Brampton.
Okay.
I saw him play, and that's when I got to know Alex. So it was a Humber Classic. I'll get to that story at the end. But you guys, so I said you guys are the first viral video that I knew someone in, right? Which was the proposal, which I think anyone here knows that video. First of all, the way you fell was ridiculous. I'm sorry. That was
you didn't believe it?
I didn't believe none. That was not an injury at all. Like you're like on the ground. It was just like now as an actor, as you're acting now.
Yeah.
You've improved. That's all I'm going to say. What you're selling is a lot more believable than what I saw. And I checked the video out this morning because it's pinned to your profile. So I was like, this is not. I don't know how she went.
He sold it though during
for
the
you.
day.
Yeah,
no,
for sure.
I didn't sell it for you.
Nah, you didn't sell it.
When you first seen that video, you didn't say like, "Yo, what's going on here?"
When I first seen the video, I was like, "These guys are literally loving basketball." That's literally what I said. But I wasn't buying the ankle thing. I'm sorry.
Well, he had complained about his knee all day.
Yeah.
So
was it a knee or an ankle?
My knee.
Oh, okay.
And
See,
it was
I
the
didn't even get it right.
knee he tore his
ACL. So you
he
believed
it. Was working the magic.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are we going to go play one-on-one at your AAU team's practice? I'm so confused. Like, I'm like, is your ego really in this? So I was like, bet, we can play. We always play one-on-one. And then...
Who wins?
Can I be honest with you? We were shooting for ball, and I made it. Like, we shoot for ball. I made the first shot. He was like, no, and he pushed me. He's like, get your ass.
My gym. My gym, my rules.
How long did it take you to think of the whole proposal?
Probably maybe a month or a couple weeks. Just because we were on an AU trip, and I was trying to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And one of the moms was like, "Oh, you should do like a 5-on-5." And I was like,
Imagine.
Full
game, y'all hooping.
You're getting cooked.
And then I was like, you know what? Like, oh, it'd be dope if we were playing one, because she loves playing one-on-one. She's so competitive.
I've only beat him one time.
Okay. Well, I was going to get to that, but that's good. You answered.
And, I was just like, it was kind of God's, like, will just do everything, because it, like, worked out, like, exactly how I envisioned it to the T. So it was like, and a couple of people had told me, like, oh, what if you don't score? I was like, don't receive it.
Yeah.
Gotta score.
Don't come to me with that negative energy. We're gonna make it happen exactly what the script says.
I think I fouled you too. Didn't I foul you on the second shot?
But and it's crazy because like how it went viral was like before even viral was a thing.
That's
like
what I'm
it was
saying.
like the organic viral, not like the premeditated viral now where everyone's
buy
just like,
stuff and all.
Yeah.
Because our friend just put it on Twitter randomly, and it got 5,000 retweets in like an hour. We were like, okay, I guess we're gonna put it up, and then I think it was like 70 million views on YouTube.
I know metrics and stuff don't matter, but that has to feel pretty good though, to have a random clip.
We got paid for it, and Sanaya Latham did a whole article about it.
Okay, well that's even better.
And I was like, oh wait, she knows me. Okay, Sanaya, hello.
Well, shout out to Sanaya Latham, man. There you go.
I think at first it was like a little overwhelming.
I could imagine.
Because it was like
probably getting so many messages.
Yeah, like I turned my phone off for like
his exes were like, congrats.
I don't remember that part. I wasn't here.
Right. Your phone was off.
Yeah, my phone was off.
I was like,
your phone was off.
Okay, sorry. Anyway.
But that was truly, as I said, that's the first viral video I saw where I knew someone in, and I was like, most people would propose, they go to Paris or they do it, like you guys kept it within
authentic.
The game of basketball. Yeah. Which is
don't
like true
take me
to
to
yourself.
Paris.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Like basketball is a part of who you are, and it's like, it's your identity, the same way it is mine. Walk me through a bit of your individual athletic journeys.
You want to go first? Ladies first?
Yeah, no. So started playing ball 8th grade, and then found a girls team, and I wasn't that good. I could only just like dive on the basketball. That's it. Just dive on it.
Yeah, you were aggressive.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was.
You're still that way.
A little bit more like polished now.
You're right.
And then just played high school in Florida, North Carolina, played at UNC Greensboro. And then we had a coaching change, and she was not fond of me. She always told me I was just too loud, like too extra. So she kicked me off the team. Then I went to Johnson C. Smith, which is a HBCU, which I wish I would have went all 4 years to HBCU. I loved every minute of it. It was amazing. Just like in the CIAA, and I don't know, it's just vibes. Like every gym, like, why are you laughing?
It's packed.
Yeah. She was like, yes, I got invited to the cookout.
I'm
No, we talked about that on camera. I was like, you the only white girl there, right? She's like, yeah.
It's just kind of like how it's been, which is, I think, just how my mom was, and she never really brought a white guy home besides my dad, so it kind of trickled down.
That's fair.
But then I played at John C. Smith, and then trying to go pro, and that's how I kind of like connected with him. We weren't together then.
How'd you meet? Well, we'll get to Alex's journey, and then we'll get to that.
Oh, am I up?
You are.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Played basketball when I started at the age 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Had the little Michael Jordan net my mom had got me.
Nice.
I was a hockey guy at first, though.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Pretty good on the skates.
Really?
Stop. Like and the ice goes.
So got to about grade 5, and my mom's like, yeah, this hockey thing is too expensive.
You're right. Like, I was going to say, I'm shocked.
Here's the basketball.
There you go.
Figure it out.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's basketball or soccer. Yeah.
And then did high school at Von Road Academy. And then went to Cal State Bakersfield first for 3 years. Last year, transferred to North Carolina State. Played in NCAA tournament, Sweet 16. Lost to Carolina to go to the Elite 8. So after NC State, I went to play 10 years pro. Romania, G League, China, Hong Kong, Argentina, Chile, all over. And then just recently did 3x3 with Team Canada.
Been doing that.
Yeah. So
I love 3x3.
In that for a minute.
It's been a nice little basketball journey.
Absolutely. How has basketball shaped your identity and self-worth?
That's a loaded question.
I know.
Layers. Who came up with these questions? You sat down at your desk, you're like, all right, yeah, that's a good one.
I can't tell you the secrets, man.
How did it shape? I don't know. For me, it was just like I was such an awkward kid. I didn't have any friends. And I got into the sport because it gave me friends. And
That's honest.
people thought I was funny.
Yeah.
People recognized me because of my ears. My ears stuck out. Like, I just being real.
Yeah.
Like, and I could be crazy. And in softball, you can't really show personality.
You can be expressive.
You can't really express.
Yeah.
And basketball, you could.
You know, that's one thing I wish. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
That's one thing I wish I did more of. I was expressive too, but I was way more expressive. But I tried to tone it down. I tried to make it look like everything was easy and cool on the court. But I wish I had been more expressive.
With me, it's chaos, and I will lock you up.
Yeah.
And talk shit.
Yep.
and
I know.
I don't know. It just gave me friends. That's why, honestly, because it's funny. My transition out of basketball, I think because I didn't see it as something that was going to give me a lot of money. Again, I played 7 years pro, played for the national team, but it was fun and I loved it. And, I got to spend time with him.
Right.
A lot of my my last 3 or 4 years was what country he went to.
Right.
And then I got to play on the women's team.
Right.
So it's just, I don't know, friends, I guess, for me.
That's dope.
Yeah.
How has it shaped yours?
Be vulnerable. Talk about what you talked about at AIA.
It's kind of weird, in terms of as I compare the years that I was playing basketball to the kind of fast forward to what I'm doing now. I feel like basketball, I was just confident in terms of I know what I'm doing. I put the work in.
Yeah.
I know this shot's going in.
Yeah.
I've been working on this.
Right.
I know I'm going to get to my spot. Or you can't guard me.
Right.
Or I'm going to lock you up. But this new transition of doing this stuff I'm doing, acting and content, it's I don't know, it's a little bit more vulnerable because it's I can put the work in, but that doesn't always equal yo, that video was great. It could be yo, this sucked.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I know.
I see all the videos too.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Do you think that was good? Did you think that was a good idea?
Yeah.
So it was you start I've never dealt with that in terms of you're thinking about oh, is this gonna be good or what are people gonna say? And I've never dealt with that. So it's weird. It's a weird space to be in. I've always been very confident. I don't care what you say about my game, And now it's why am I worried about that stuff?
But with basketball, you're in control of your own fate in a sense, right? So practicing makes you more confident in a game. But basketball in itself is a game of failure. If I shoot 50% in the season, that's amazing. If I shoot 50, 40, 90, I'm an elite basketball player.
Yeah.
When is 50% ever good in life?
Yeah.
Never. No one would ever bank on 50% of anything being good. So me making 1 out of 2 baskets is a good in a season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So getting to that point takes a lot of work, but I'm in control of that. Every shot I take is off of my fingertips, nobody else's. Whereas what you're talking about in terms of acting and identity, you're putting yourself out there for everyone else to see. Yeah. And then that judgment is how you determine how good you are at something.
Yeah.
But you talked about it in our one talk last week when you were you used basketball to kind of help with the struggle with your dad.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, we've heard that before. What does she mean by that? Go on, dive deeper.
Just in terms of me being a believer, I know who my father is, but growing up I didn't have a dad.
Right.
So it was I leaned into everything for basketball in terms of yo, I'm gonna show everyone that I can do it without him, or I can make it without him, and it was always playing with a chip on my shoulder.
Do you think that, and I can say this from experience, do you think that made you feel worthy? When you're hooping,
most definitely.
you feel worthy. You feel worthy of attention. You feel worthy of like you're validating what you believe about yourself because you didn't get that from your father or someone else. And like I have both my parents, I have my family, but I didn't feel worthy of like, I tried to prove to myself I was better than I thought I was. So I constantly doubt myself to then go prove that I was good to myself. If that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of validation at home?
Well, that's tough in a West Indian household.
What was your background?
I'm Guyanese.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like in certain cultures, like words of affirmation is not really a thing.
No. I can tell you, if I go to my house now, grown man, I go to my house, my mom will be working all day long. I'll go home. She will go in the kitchen and try to cook something for me. I could tell her I just ate. Doesn't matter.
That's how they should. Yeah.
And it's like, you're fed, you're clothed, I love you.
Yeah. But I don't need to tell you that.
I need to tell you that because I show you that.
Yeah.
But I understand my parents. You know what I mean? And I understand that my parents were once children. So I don't expect them to do something that they don't know how to do.
Yeah.
This is the way they know how to do it. I accept it for what it is, and I can then take that and do what I want with it. But to blame them for their shortcomings is wrong. Because if I'm a parent like you guys are, you're gonna have your own shortcomings.
I ask you this: when you do become a parent, will you try to pour more words of affirmation into your kid than what you received?
I'm on the hot seat now, boy.
Hey, who's this interview about?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, that almost gets me a little emotional because I think I would, but I also struggle in knowing how.
Yeah.
Well, I pray you find a partner that's words of affirmation because that's my love language. So sometimes we like find our weaknesses. So his is words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Mine is like, I will pour words of affirmation into anything, anyone.
Yeah.
Just because that's what was given to me. So it's like I'm helping him on his journey with being a dad, and he's helping me as well because we're filling in the gaps for each other.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
you just want to be better than, again, our parents do their best. And
that's my point.
And they operate out of their own trauma.
That's my point.
Like you come from this trauma lens where you're like, why are they acting that way? What trauma did they go through to make them act this way?
Sometimes they don't even know.
They don't even know.
And I'm not saying my parents went through trauma. I'm sure everyone has, but I just accept them for what they've done because they raised me.
Yeah.
And I think they raised me well.
It's different.
You'll be a good dad. I can see it.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you. Shout out. So you hear that, ladies?
And we can just pan to a year later where he's like, "This is my baby."
There we go. Speaking of gap filling, how did you two meet to connect these gaps? I asked you that earlier, but we didn't answer.
Well, his life was dull, and meaningless and mindless, and he was just dribbling a basketball.
You guys want to know the real story?
Well, I want to hear her story first about the dull and mindless first.
Are you capping?
No, I'm not capping.
Take your cap off.
No, so there was a Pro-Am in North Carolina called NC Pro-Am.
Nice.
Like everyone was there. It was the best Pro-Am you could ever be a part of. It was at a HBCU, NC Central.
Yeah.
And it was always packed, always sold out. And so I was playing before him. They had a girls tournament that year. So it was like 3 girls games in the afternoon, and then the guys was like 6, 7, 8 p.m. So he's playing, and I know everyone there. It's like usually the players from like Duke, Carolina, NC State. We had LeBron come. We had Chris Paul. Like we have all these people come. And so I see him, and I'm like, oh, he's my type.
Oh, who that?
Oh, who's that?
Who that little Superman? Who that?
So you can tell your part because I know you want to.
I want to.
Yes, but tell it correct or I'm going to get mad. Because it's going to make like I have no riz. And I do have some riz. Because obviously it worked.
No, she ain't got no riz. Tell me the story.
I just told you were going to
I know you.
So I had pulled up, just flew in from Cali. Coach says, hey, like, I'm going to let you play in a little Pro-Am, see if you could rock.
If you got it.
If you got it. I'm like, all right, cool, man. Pull up. I love when it's packed crowd. I feel like
me too.
I love it.
That's
like,
the best.
I'm like, all right. So put on my shoes, everything, get ready. In the game, like I could feel somebody like staring at me. Like, you know when someone's staring like hard and like you're like, yo, what is that, yo? So like I turn and I look and she's like, yeah. And I'm
just like,
and usually like when you turn and you catch the person staring at you, they give you the quick.
They look away.
Yeah,
right.
I wasn't looking at you.
I didn't look away.
She didn't look. She was like, I want you to know I'm looking at you. So I'm like, this is so weird. So I sub out the game, and I go get a cup of water, and she's like, "Oh, you have beautiful eyes."
I told him he has nice eyes.
And
she came up to you and said that?
No.
So
I'm sitting at the last
behind the
bleacher.
bench.
Like I'm right behind the bench, and I was like, "Yo, you have nice eyes." I just said it like
So I'm
that.
like,
Does that?
And in the
you have
game,
nice eyes?
just like that,
Just
right?
like that.
Tell me
Hands like this?
You have nice
you're
eyes.
a hooper,
Uh-huh.
and you over there drinking your water, and someone says, "Hey man, you have nice eyes." You're like, "Thanks." I'm like in the game. I'm like,
Yeah, I
thanks.
use them to see. That's
Yeah.
what I would have said.
So then I'm like, all right, cool. So the game finishes. I'm with Lorenzo Brown, my roommate, and I'm like, yo, this girl's been jocking me the whole game, bro. He's like, man, what are you talking about? I'm like, watch this. I'm a wave, and she's gonna wave back. He's like, man, whatever. So I'm like, watch this. So I'm like,
Dude, no, you did the 3-finger wave too?
gave her she gave me the.
That's not true. Do you really?
I do believe that.
No,
I
you
do
don't.
believe
And then-
that.
I was like, because I was sitting, I leaned over, I was like, hey. I was like,
You think she's that cool with all that energy?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I gotta go with
take back
Alex.
earlier.
I
what
know. I'm
said.
sorry.
So-
I'm sorry.
So then Lorenzo goes, so you're not gonna go over there and get the number? I was like, nah, she'll find me.
Okay, so
And we walk off.
they walk off. So fast forward to that night. I was trying to look for my stats from the game because I know I played okay. Like it was a so-so game.
You weren't looking for no stats.
I promise you.
You wasn't looking for no stats.
No, because NC Pro Am Twitter, they post the stats on their Instagram. It was very like, babe, if you're making faces when I'm talking, I'm gonna get mad.
Never. Tell us your story.
So there was stats, right? And I
Oh
was
my
looking for
God.
mine. So I found like mine, and then I was looking at like the games that were above on Twitter feed, and it said player of the game at Superman Johnson, 31 points, and I was like, who is Superman Johnson? Like I mean, it sounded inappropriate to me, like a Johnson, Superman. I don't know. Sorry, it just sounded. I remember being like, that's a weird name. I click on it and it's him, and I like freak out. I was like, whoa. Wait, no. So I asked my mom, I love you. I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, what do I do? She was like, follow him. What's the worst that could happen? I follow him on Twitter, and he DMs me like 5 minutes later. That didn't
30.
take.
She'll find me.
Can I do my line?
Go ahead, babe.
I'm trying to help you out. That didn't take too long. That's all he said was that didn't take too long. And then we went on dates.
Hooping,
Riz,
bro.
Riz.
He's hooping, bro.
That's some Riz.
That's hooping.
That's what the we were at Athletes in Action, and they were eating
They
it all
ate
up.
it up. It was so annoying.
Rachel over there rolling her eyes back and stuff. She's
Right?
We're so corny. Good job,
Yes.
Alex. Good job. So at that point in time, you would say both of you guys. That's how y'all met, of course.
Yeah.
That didn't take long.
That didn't take too long.
You guys were fully ingrained in basketball. You build a relationship out of that. Your identities are clearly intertwined with one another with with basketball. How has basketball impacted your relationship?
I feel like you need 2 connection points with people. So 2 things to like hold you together. So we had God and we had basketball. So we knew that it was something special. And I think,
well, here we go.
this is what has connected us with basketball. Is this thing right here. Hi, buddy.
Hi.
You don't want to watch Paw Patrol? Go watch. Okay. Yep. Bye. See you later.
It's okay.
Can you
We got edits.
Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, no, for sure. So, you guys.
I wish we could lock the door. Is that wrong?
No.
Rachel, can you lock the door?
No.
Put some food in.
Shit.
Put some food and water.
He shut the door. Turn off the lights.
Why has basketball kept us so connected?
No. I said, how has basketball impacted your relationship?
Oh, how is basketball?
And you said you needed 2 things to keep you.
Yeah, we needed 2 things to keep us connected, which was God and basketball. And I don't know, it was really special going out with him to different countries. Like we went to Chile. I love Chile. Ecuador, China. And it was just really special to have that connection with him. And it was so easy. And then we had a kid, and it was just like, what is happening right now? Completely changed the whole dynamic of our relationship. You know, you have a lot of free time when you don't have a child. I always say, like, you have a lot of free time.
Even though you think you're busy, right?
Yeah.
You be, wow, our schedule's jam-packed. And
Yeah.
you have a kid.
But your quality time goes up. Your free time goes down. Your quality time goes up.
In the relationship.
Yeah,
when you have a
like
kid.
when you have a kid.
Yeah.
Like, you have just a lot more quality time, but you have no free time to think, breathe.
Right.
The house is a mess. Well, what are we having for dinner?
Right.
But no, definitely basketball was one of our big foundations. It honestly is what brought us together. Like, after Johnson C. Smith, I wanted to play pro, and we weren't together then. So I went up there to here, Toronto, and he invited me for 2 weeks, and I was like, no, I'm not going to be here for 2 weeks. I'm only going to stay for 1. My mom was like, just stay for 2. If I would have stayed for 1, we wouldn't be together. Yeah. I hated him the first week. He had tings on his phone. I was so mad. Yeah, tings.
What's that?
I don't know.
Like, I was getting so mad. And then I drove up with him to Erie, Pennsylvania for a D-League tryout.
Right.
And you know, I was getting hit on. I was like, what are we doing? Am I giving them my number? Or
Are we a thing?
because we kind of like started clicking a little bit after about 6 days. And then he was like, we'll talk when we get home. We got home. He was like, I want to be with you, but we have to do it the abstinent way. And I was like, who you hear that from? Who you hear that from? So we I don't know, we figured it out. But basketball literally is the reason why we're together.
Yeah.
Like,
and
you can't.
That's dope.
I mean, and God as well. Obviously, that's number one.
But that's how you guys bonded.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's very rare. Like, not many people can go through their own transitional phase with someone else that knows exactly what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
Both of y'all played, you know, in 3-on-3. You represented Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a few questions, random questions about y'all two being on the road, as you brought it up. Who's a bigger complainer on the road?
Probably me.
Okay, fair. Most likely to forget their passport.
Oh, I've definitely forgot my passport.
Who controls the aux cord?
It's not fair because he drives, but he always tells me never touch a black man's radio. And I get upset about it. I get so upset about it.
He got a point, though. You got a
right.
point.
I have tunes, though. I have, like, some good songs.
No comment.
I think I control it because she falls asleep half the ride.
Fair.
So it's like
fair. Passenger princess. I can see that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a passenger.
Yeah,
princess.
yeah.
But I
yeah.
have all the snacks. Oh.
I was going to say most adventurous to try new foods.
Definitely her.
Okay.
I just don't like spicy food. No spice.
Says a lot. I'm sorry.
I know
No
I'm
black-
white.
no-
I know I'm white. I know. My white family did not season their food, okay? We season our food now. But,
Man.
yo, hey, tell him, babe, what can I make? Tell him.
Some oxtail.
I can make oxtail, jerk, brown stewed chicken, rice and peas. Yep, I'm working on my mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is...
She just doesn't.
She got invited to the cookout a few times.
Yeah,
and
yeah, so
it
she
changed
could-
her life.
Yeah, she made the right decision. She made some coleslaw. She didn't put raisins in it.
I'm...
Dang, bro. This is hilarious.
I don't even like raisins. I've never liked
I like
raisins.
raisins, just not in coleslaw. So
I've seen it in jerk chicken.
that's ridiculous. Yeah,
Blasphemy.
yeah, that's ridiculous. Who handles losing better?
Definitely me. 100% me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I beat him in one-on-one. What was it? And I legit beat him. Like, he was playing hard. I was playing hard.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to say, I just finished a tournament.
No. I hadn't. I took like 2.5 weeks off.
Okay.
So I was like,
Right.
She's like, yo, let's run it.
Cooked.
She didn't cook me.
Can you, like, pan to, like, a chef just going like
Cooking?
Yeah.
Yeah. We will. We'll put that in the edit.
Sounds good.
that? Yeah. I will say I couldn't miss anything. Like, I was making
You were
everything. It was
hot.
like one of those
It was
days.
one of those
She
days.
just throwing up everything and it was going
Going
in.
in.
Throwing up is like, okay, go ahead.
No, you
Continue.
was hoping.
Yeah, I was
basically. It's
hoping.
okay. You took a L. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
That was the only time, though.
Alex, you've been competing since 2012. That's when you went pro, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel happy with your career?
Is anybody happy with their career?
No. We could all do things differently, but you specifically.
No, I would say no.
No. And I feel like
Okay, why? Yeah.
I didn't get the opportunity to fully maximize just everything that I had. And like I felt like when I was like trending on the right, like I was like really like oh yeah, man, I'm really hooping. Like it's probably when we was in Chile.
Mm-hmm.
You were killing.
And I was averaging like 18, 7 and 7. And our coach did some foul stuff and he got fired. And then they brought in a new coach and he cleaned house. Like I think I got 2 games with the new coach and it was
and
just.
You still cooked. He still
that's
killed.
That's what I was like, damn, this joint is really unfair. Because like the new coach came, first game I had 27, 8 and 5. So I'm like, okay, I did what I was supposed to do. And then it was like the last game before Christmas. And I had 25, 8 and 8. I'm like, yo, I've done everything I can. Like and I asked the general manager. I'm like, yo, because I know how it goes. Like when you bring in a new coach, he usually cleans house. He brings in his own guys. So I asked the general. I'm like, yo, do I need to pack my stuff? Because like we took a trip to Argentina. So I'm like, yo, do I need to pack my stuff? He's like, nah, man, you're good, man. We want you back after Christmas. I'm like, all right. Second day we were in Argentina, they called me. Like, yeah, coach is going to clean house.
Wasn't it Christmas?
Yeah.
Merry
so
Christmas.
Like, so then after that, it was just done.
I also think that Alex loves to win. And I think he puts a lot of his worth into winning. So, which is hard because that's validation from a world that will fail you every time. So us as believers in Jesus, we feel what the word says. Like, we know what the word says about us. We're already chosen. Like, we're built, we're set for success. Obviously, we're going to have trials. But I think he puts a lot of his, I'm not trying to call you out. I love you so much. But he does put a lot of his worth in winning. So there was a lot of times where he killed personally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he killed personally, but his team wasn't able to win.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I think if he would have won more things, I think he would feel differently.
Maybe.
Was it all worth it then? Because I'll be honest, you're one of the most, like, you work hard, man. You've always been very dedicated to basketball. Ever since I've known you, I can't say nothing about your work ethic. You worked extremely hard, and it wasn't always. Like, you didn't reap the benefit that I think you should have. I remember even when I played you when you were on Windsor, and coach wasn't really rocking with you.
Yeah.
We're in London. He puts you in the game. You snapped, just went crazy, and that stupid pump fake you be doing when you put the ball up and you just go on your tippy toe and this foot comes off the ground and everyone's just flying. You caught me twice with it. You know what I'm saying? And you were cooking, and it's like you're capable of doing that.
Yeah.
And I know you know that.
Yeah.
But it hasn't come out all the time. So that's what I'm saying. Was it all worth it? Knowing that you have that, and it just hasn't, like, as we said, like, working hard, you're supposed to get the outcome from it. But
yeah, sometimes it doesn't equal that.
You didn't get it. You didn't get it the way I know you, and same for me.
Yeah.
The way we probably would have wanted.
Yeah.
So was it all worth it?
Yeah, because it's like, it's still an experience that you can say that you did, and like at the end of the day you're like, I tried, instead of it being like, man, I wish I would have went and did that
or did more.
Yeah. You know,
or worked harder. He's definitely doesn't
have
a lazy.
Yeah.
I sometimes can be a bit lazy. I'm the lazy sometimes, but he's not lazy at all.
Right.
And like
within your pro career, did you empty the tank too? You feel like you got everything you wanted out of basketball?
I thought I did until I beat cancer, and I want to play this. We'll see what my body does, but I want to play this year, like Hoop Queens, 3-on-3. I want to like go full force and spending all the money to do it.
Right. We were definitely gonna dive into that. That's something. That's another whole other transition.
It's a whole other,
But
I thought, no, I'm very happy with it. I 3-on-3 has been. I love 3-on-3. Have you played 3-on-3 before? Yeah,
Alex asked me to play. Body just don't want to cooperate. So I was down to do it with him. Mm-hmm. We probably talked about it.
You would have been perfect for it.
Appreciate that. Yeah,
because he could guard multiple positions. And
well,
he's a shooter.
I mean,
if you can shoot and can guard multiple positions,
shoot.
But I don't know if you can guard though.
Shots fired, man. No, it's for sure. I would have loved to. Just wasn't the right time.
You still play?
Yeah, randomly.
For fun?
Yeah. Fridays, me and my friends, we play. Yeah.
You got to.
Of course. I love the game.
Just please lift.
I'll always play.
Do you lift a couple times a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a Pilates prince now, so I be lifted and
floor or the machine.
No, the actual machine, reformer.
Okay.
Yeah, I be doing it. I be
kicking
doing
your butt.
Yo, the first time I did it, I swear to God, my legs were like this. No,
like,
I'm
it's
good. It's a different type of workout. That
it is
yoga. I have to. I have to.
Some people are like still play, but then don't lift, and then that's how you get hurt.
Yeah, I've had so much surgery. Like I don't have a choice.
Okay.
You know.
Sure.
Yeah. ACL, Achilles, ACL.
Jeez.
So I just.
You know what you're doing.
Exactly. You brought it up, and I definitely wanted to discuss that with you. Did it put things in perspective? Like basketball really don't matter at that point in time. You know, when did you get diagnosed? And I commend you for even, you shared it with people. You know, you shared your journey with people and what you went through. You know, losing your hair, all the things that people go through.
Naked mole rat. I was a cute one though.
You said a naked mole rat?
Yeah,
oh my God.
I looked like a cute naked mole rat.
So talk about that. Like how was
what was really special about that whole journey is I knew I was gonna live because it wasn't aggressive cancer. It was moving very aggressively. Like in a span of like 3 days, it had completely, I think, doubled in size.
What type of cancer?
It was a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So I had a mass in my chest.
Okay. What were the symptoms? Like how'd you know?
So we'll backpedal. So it was Easter weekend, and my friend had invited me to Vegas because she had a prophet that she wanted me to meet. And I'm like a bit skeptical on prophets. Basically, the prophet said that I was going to have 2 more kids. He spoke life into me. He did everything back to God. It was very interesting, right? I was like, okay, cool. So then that was on a Sunday. Tuesday morning rolled around. I went to the Y, 6 a.m. like I do. I'm starting to lift, and I just feel like tightness in my neck, and my face started to swell. And I thought it was a blood clot. That's what I was like, oh, it's a blood clot in my neck. Kind of makes sense. And then I rushed 20 minutes. And again, that's why it's so important to move your body and to listen to your body. So I probably wouldn't have caught it as early as I did if I wasn't working out. Right. Because I put myself through so stress, much. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I went to the hospital, long story short, in the span of that 3 weeks, it was cancer. And, I think for me, I was a little bit worried about how he would show up because his mom had cancer and he doesn't do hospitals or sick. I mean, knock on wood, I've never seen this man sick. Not a cold, not a flu.
Superman.
Nothing.
Makes sense.
And he doesn't do throw up, no. So with cancer, you in chemo, you throw up. So I was just nervous, but it definitely helped us with, I think he appreciated me more in what I did as a wife and as a mom. But anything like that, if you can get through anything like that as a couple, I mean, it pretty much rocked our world, but it was a gift. I always say cancer was a gift because it slowed me down. It made me realize just how important intentional time is. And it also gave me my spiritual gift, which is I'll get random urges to pray for people on the side of the road. It doesn't matter where we are. God will be like, you need to pray for that person. And I'm like, no. I still am like, are you sure? And he'll be like, no, you have to go. So I'll go up to the person, hey, can I pray with you? Sometimes they say no. Sometimes they say yes. But I believe I'm here because of God's grace, and I think he was just trying to slow me down. And I like my haircut, so dope. I'm not going back to long hair. I know you want the long hair.
How do you remain so positive through such a traumatic thing? It puts, forget basketball and sports and all that, but that's some real shit. So how do you have this attitude? I
don't know. I really think it's my personality. I'm a type B person. I think if maybe I was type A, or I'm super black and white. Type B are just kind of dee-dee-dee-dee. And I don't know. I just think it's my personality because not everyone can look at life like that. I did not complain once during cancer. You can ask anyone. I did not complain once.
I think he was probably complaining more. How'd you deal with it?
It was a journey, a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the hardest thing was just being able to kind of maneuver through everything, with Bean as he's running around the hall. Mm-hmm.
Being a dad and
being able to go to the hospital to be with her.
We got therapy.
So
Alex and I got some therapy because
he really
he really struggled, but I think it had come from what his mom had it. So he was like, I don't want to lose you.
Yeah.
So I think you go through that fight, flight, and freeze. He kind of froze and was just trying to figure it out.
I could tell you got real quiet. You don't really you don't have a lot to say. You didn't lose your mom. You didn't lose your mom, right?
No.
Okay.
She's still here.
She's still, but
I was in the hospital so much. Like
Yeah.
I think we did the math. I was in the hospital over 30 times.
Yeah.
Oh. But Beanie, it was funny. He'll now play like, Mommy, you have to go to the hospital, because I literally lived in the hospital, like, and I ended up getting a lung infection.
Gentle.
I ended up getting a lung infection from the chemo,
Yeah, we can't
which
touch.
almost took me out.
Do you want to say something?
But by
What-
God's grace.
What do you want to say?
We got a special guest.
This is Genesis Johnson.
Genesis David Johnson. You're gonna go play.
Okay.
And he just wanted to make a little cameo, and he's out.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I rely on
That's
God
funny.
a lot.
Mhm.
It was funny. That's how I keep my happiness.
What about your habits, your daily habits? Like what has changed? What has changed since, like the diagnosis for both of you guys?
I eat a lot.
You a little
better.
different?
Yeah.
No fried chicken. No.
No, not really.
No.
I'm very much like a lot more intentional with what I put in my body.
Right.
I my time with God is a lot more disciplined.
Right.
I definitely think I work a lot harder since cancer.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. My mindset's just different. I just like
Maximizing your
yeah,
time.
maximizing my time.
Yeah, you never know, right? You're maximizing
You never
your time.
know. You never know.
Yeah. And what about you, Alex?
Probably just helping her out when it's needed.
What about you personally?
That's hilarious.
That is
He said,
hilarious.
Thank you.
I don't know. Like I don't work out as like basketball
That's
as
true.
much. Before it was just like, it's
Yeah.
gotta be everything basketball.
Yeah, you don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
as important.
Right.
So
Right.
probably just like she said, slowing down and kind of just trying to take advantage of the moments that you have together.
Yeah.
He helps a lot more at home. Like I appreciate that so much. Like for him to just put the dishes away without asking.
Yeah.
I'm like, feed my love language.
House husband right there.
Hmm.
So
Be
talk
like,
about.
you can get some later for doing the dishes.
Especially-
You feel me?
After a
Get
long
whatever you did the dishes. We gonna have a party tonight when Beanie goes to bed. Okay.
You get that Lysol and spray that
I was gonna-
countertop, boy.
you're silly.
You wipe that countertop down. You go wiping something else
we
later on.
don't have a countertop.
You're right.
We have a wooden table.
Oh, whatever, man. You know what I mean, man. Whatever, man. Alex, you've started doing a lot of creative things through social media, and I'm tired of seeing you on my ads whenever I'm on social media. You've done Sidekick Tool. How did that come about, and why is that? Well, I think that's a dope career path, by the way. I commend you for even trying that. Because
Yeah.
not many people would.
There's a lot of money to be made.
Clearly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, clearly. So where did that come about? How are you doing that? And that's kind of been your transition out of sports.
I
Yeah.
can help you with that. You don't want to work for nobody. He doesn't want to work for nobody.
Yeah, that's one. But I think when she was sick, because I couldn't go into work, I had
Yeah.
to take a leave.
You
So-
were at no,
So I was doing
you were coaching.
No, I was doing training.
Ah.
So I was doing I was training at Red Dot,
Okay.
and then I was doing some other like individual training. So I helped out St. Mike's
Okay.
and doing that. But like when she's in the hospital, I can't go and train kids.
Right.
So it was like, okay, what can I do that's remote? And then I started doing that, and it kind of just snowballed. Like
Did you reach out to somebody or?
No, I had started like the year before, but I wasn't really serious. It was just kind of like brands would reach out to me like, hey, are you interested if we send you some stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And then like I started to like really take off with when it was when she got sick. I
Yeah.
just started reaching out to brands like, hey, like what do you think about this? Started giving like creative concepts, and they're like, yeah, we love it.
Do you have an agent or you do it all yourself?
All myself.
No,
That's
you have an
dope.
agent for acting though.
Oh yeah, well that's a different lane than
Yeah,
content creating.
Right.
But for content stuff, it's me by myself, lone wolf.
That's amazing, man.
Lone wolf? What you mean lone wolf?
Because it's not lone wolf.
He gets me out of bed to be like, hey, babe,
hold this camera.
Can you drop this to make it with the angle of the camera and da-da-da-da?
That was just one last night. Last night. But before that, it hasn't been. Like, she started with me before she got sick.
Yeah.
Like and then, like, when she got sick, I had to do everything by myself.
Right.
So you figure out angles, you figure out how the camera goes, and then, like, now she's like, hey, do you want? Like, she doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Kind of like, all right, I'll do it myself. But she does still help out, and, like, she'll look at some of the videos and
like, does this make sense?
Right.
I'm like, yes, that makes sense.
Do you feel? This is like two questions. One is kind of close to me and how I feel about it. Do you feel trapped by your sport? Meaning, we kind of have to like stay in basketball.
Yes,
like
yes.
You
Absolutely.
That's a great question.
You hooper, then you're a coach. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I think coaching is amazing. It's a great part of the game. But like, you're seen as that. Like Alex Superman Johnson is not going to go and do something completely different. You kind of feel trapped by it. So you guys have to create a whole new identity outside of that. You know what I mean?
I never wanted to coach though.
Me either.
Oh God.
You think I could coach? I can't coach nobody.
I don't want the X's and O's.
No, I don't want to. It'd be crazy for me as a grown man to have I'm relying on 18-year-olds to feed my family. That is, it's amazing. I just don't know if I could do it. Like,
I can't.
you know what I mean? You got kids, and it's like, if their success is my success.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No
and
control.
Then, no control.
But then you got to relearn the habits that you learned from your coaching, and it's a different era right now.
For sure.
Like, especially, I work at, and I'm so grateful for Layup. Layup has helped me.
Shout out to Layup.
Yeah.
We've had 3 y'all on this podcast.
Hannah, Michaela,
Hannah.
It has helped me really transition out of playing, because I had a job offer to play in Vietnam for 3-on-3 national team.
Nice.
But I had just got a job with Layup, and I could have taken it, but I was like, I need to like plant my roots a little bit. I need to figure out me.
You got
and
a family and all that.
You know, I'm just, could you, oh my gosh, no, I'm glad I didn't go to Vietnam. Shout out to Vietnam though, it's beautiful. But I'm just like, I don't know, it's been nice. We're figuring it out, right?
Yeah. I like you said, it's like you get like just bunched into that thing.
Yeah, man.
And it's like, even now, like people always like, yo, are you going to coach? And it's like, I think it's hard when you're like, when you've played and you haven't achieved what you wanted with basketball, you're like, do I really want to still be around it? As a reminder to always tell you, like there's that tug and pull. I always I want to help other people achieve what I've achieved throughout my career, but I also sometimes I don't want to be around it.
But you said something really good the other day. He was like, if Beanie wants to play sports, he's going to be in multiple sports and he's going to be in multiple things. Yeah. So what I loved about what my mom did is she made sure that I was in art or into music, or instead of just one, strictly basketball, like we have to feed that the whole time. So that's what he was like, when Beanie decides whatever he wants to be in, he's going to be in multiple things and wear many hats. That way, if one doesn't work out, he's got a backup.
Yeah. I hate the word backup. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just call it something else. He has multiple disciplines that he's good at.
I like that.
You know, it's not, backup means that it's like,
you're prone to
you're failing, and then you got to go to something else. And I just think you can adapt and go to a different direction.
I like that.
You know, you have multiple disciplines, because that's something I wish I had done more of. Like, I'm like Alex, where it was, I think back then at least, it was, you do this thing, the only way you can make it is if you put every fiber of your being into this sport.
Obsessed.
That's the
Make it an idol.
The only way to do it.
But then it becomes an idol.
And then if you don't, there's no one there to help you up off the ground to be like this and be like, hey, I got you. You know, like if wasn't for relationships and things that I was able to attain, I don't know what I'd be doing.
What do you think the answer to that question is? Do you feel trapped in basketball a little bit? Maybe not so now, but did you?
No, because I've taken a different path. But you know, my mentor always asked me that. He always asked me, it's like, he goes, what's the outcome of this? Are you trapped, you know, by your success? And the better you become at something, the more people identify you with that thing. So I mean, for Alex, an example, like he has a whole nickname from basketball. You know, like you've put on a cape. I've seen it in games, you know? So it's like now you're trying to recreate that in a whole other field. And that's why I said I commend you for it, because it's something completely different.
Yeah.
You know? Even though you're over there telling me a bunch of stuff online with ankle mobility and injuries, but you know, it's something completely different. Funny. And I think it's dope. But do you both now have especially without basketball, do you have a better foundation of like, I know what I'm doing, or am I just exploring and seeing what happens?
I think I'm still in the exploring stage.
Same.
Yeah, I think you have to stay in that though, because there's a sense of humility.
I agree.
For it, right? If if you think you have it figured all out, life can just slap the mess out of you
and hit you with something crazy. Yeah,
2-piece combo,
and humble you.
It's that whole thing of not being comfortable, you know. And it's like always trying new things. Like for example, right now I've been working on at the rehearsal hall for this theater play that's about to come out in April.
Okay, Hamlet, I see you, big dog.
Hey, we'll get you tickets.
Please.
We'll try and get you. It's a basketball play.
Yeah, it's called Flex.
Sick.
It's about 5 high school ladies trying to get a scholarship out of Arkansas, Plano, Arkansas.
What's your role?
So I am the coach. I'm not actually in the play. I'm helping them
look like basketball players.
Yeah, so I'm helping the actors. So
create the persona of an athlete.
Yeah, of the high school basketball player. So it's kind of cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the director has given me creative freedom to place them in different staging. We just started last week, the rehearsals. So she's given me creative freedom to be what do you think would be here? What would look good? So it's been we're working on that, and it's been and she's like, man, you should really think about being a director. And I was
is that something you would give thought to?
I mean, I told her I don't know, I've never thought about it, because it's pretty overwhelming what the director has to do. But she was like, yo, you have a team that is supposed to help you. So
he's good at that though. Alex's brain, he definitely has a director brain. I do not. I just want to be friends with everyone and hug everyone and let's talk.
That's dope, man. That's really cool. Well, as someone who needs some, relationship advice, what are the keys to a successful relationship?
Man, that's a great question. It's tough because we live in a world where faith, it's up or down. You either believe or you don't,
right?
In something,
right? Okay,
I do believe that finding someone with the same faith as you is really important, whatever religion you decide to choose, or if you're agnostic or atheist, or I feel like that's important. And honestly, you have to be really humble, and you have to look in the mirror and do the work. Before I got with him, I took a year off from dating. I was no men, no dates, no phone, no nothing, because I was I attracted a married man before Alex. And we were together for 9 months, and he was married, had a whole wife. So I was something was wrong with me. That's what I'm saying. I had no idea he was until I found out.
Right.
But I'm I have to do the work. I have to look in the mirror and be okay, what do I got to work on? So I think it starts with looking in the mirror and be not all these women are trouble. Maybe it's something, because you're attracting them, right? You're the common denominator of all the women that are coming around you. So what is your red flag? Sorry, I ain't trying to
put them on blast.
What is your red flag, right?
Well.
And that was me. I'm all right. So I think just doing the work, the individual work, right? And being humble enough to be able to make those corrections. Because marriage is definitely very selfless. Very selfless.
I believe that, for sure.
What about you? I'm perfect, so
I think the biggest thing with just relationships in general is finding a partner that's willing to just go to the ends with you.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people think they're in or out. So they go halfway or not all the way. They're either one way. They're going all the way like her, or they're I'm kind of in. So that's where you get that it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Or you get someone who's like, oh, this is gonna work.
Yeah.
From the moment I saw him, I was in.
I could tell. Yeah, I know.
I was like, oh, he finna be in my life some way or another.
The eyes.
Daddy, you know?
No, the reason why I asked the question is, and the reason why it's important is because you guys are an example of what like younger people don't really see. Like two very committed people that are into one another, that continue to show up for one another. I don't need dating advice. I was just saying because, you know, I was.
Oh, yeah. Are you dating?
Huh?
You can, you can. If you can, you can hear.
You know, I was
hot
saying.
in here.
I was saying.
Why is it hot?
I was saying.
The lights on?
I was saying. I was saying that.
Got people frazzled right now, shuffling the cars.
I was saying that we don't have that example in this day and age, right? We don't really have that a lot, and it's nice to see two people that continue to show up from there and that are committed, and whatever.
Almost 9 years married.
You see what I'm saying? Whatever compromises that have been made along the way with, you know what I mean, with one another, you guys put each other first, and that's why I think that's important to highlight, especially since basketball has been around and it's moved out of that. Now we got a content creator. You work for Layup, and it's different, but you two have remained, and it wasn't just a viral moment. It's real. You know, and that's what I wanted to talk.
Before you,
I flipped it.
Before you flipped it to me, yeah.
Just try to
I love
kill
Warren.
me, huh?
You see me shake out as I was drinking the water like this.
Sweat coming down.
If you could go back and give young Alex any advice, what would you say to him?
Explore. Be open to doing other things than just focused on one. You know, like you can do. Like sometimes when you're hooping, you're like, nah, I can't have anything.
I don't have time.
I don't have time, man. Like you're gonna distract from plan A.
Yeah.
But like you can do multiple things. Like, you know.
Okay. Follow up question: do you think you'd be who you are if you took that advice?
That's a good question. I don't, in terms of like, do you think I would have been the same basketball player? Yes, because there's enough time. So like,
there is.
It's like maximizing your time.
Right.
So like now, I still work out. I still get some hoop sessions in. It's just my time is more precious in what I'm doing. So instead of like scrolling or playing video games, like you pour that into something else. So like I rarely have time to be like just like scrolling. Like she'll send me stuff on Instagram and I might not see it until like a couple days later.
Did you see that video I sent you?
Yo, yeah, no, that's facts. Because like we've been trying to play chess for 3 years.
Yeah.
And haven't played one game.
He's scared.
Come on now.
I gave him my user tag, but he still
bro.
hasn't invited
Let's not
me.
do this. Let's not do this. You know what it is. You know. Anyways.
I mean, we could just bring the chess.
We could.
Here.
That's what we're gonna do next time.
Honestly, we should have been just playing chess
the whole time. That would have been great. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do on the next episode.
I like that.
For sure.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
For 100%. Brey, same question to you.
I don't play chess. Sorry.
What would you say to the young girl that had no friends with it?
Well, here's the thing: is basketball gave me a lot of male friends, and those male friends were not the right ones. Besides this one, so I would say like put more value into like who you are as a person and protect yourself more. So like not everyone can have a piece of the pie. You need to protect the pie. This guy is hilarious. Sorry, a kid is running around. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. I just like protect my time more and realize that I like have value.
Absolutely.
Because it wasn't until that 1 year away from men where I realized like, yo, I'm actually dope. And not everyone can have a piece of me, like regardless of who they are.
Yeah.
So
or
I
what
think,
they do.
or what they do, or the basketball landscape. Like it's so different now. But growing up, definitely, you know, I was the only white girl at HBCU. You know, everyone's like,
that's crazy.
You know, it's a little times were had. So I had to like revamp. But yeah, I would just like protect my time better.
Well, to conclude, play a little game. It's called For Three.
Well, for three.
Yeah. You can answer any of the questions with one word or one sentence.
What's it called?
4-3.
4-3.
Yeah, your specialty.
I like it.
So we're going to go, each of you can answer.
One word or one sentence?
One word or one sentence. So, Brey, we'll start with you. With basketball, I am. Finish the sentence.
A badass.
Without basketball, I am.
Empathetic.
Alex, with basketball, I am.
Superman.
Without basketball, I am.
Clark Kent.
What? That's fire. No, don't hype him.
Sorry.
You didn't like that?
That was cute.
Oh, okay.
You can get some later for that. That was kind of cute.
2 rounds. Whew.
Bop, bop.
My birthday.
Brey.
This is what it's like having couples.
I love it. I love it. We probably gonna go viral with this too. Off the court, success means no.
Showing up for my family.
I love that. Alex,
Off the court,
success to you now is what?
quality time.
That's good.
This is a 2-part question.
Okay.
So we'll start with Brey. 1 word to describe your journey thus far.
Oh, man. 1 word to describe my journey thus far.
In all its vastness.
Intentional.
Love that.
Good.
Second part to the question. As your little beanie
Hamster.
runs around
Little hamster.
here. When your son is old enough to watch this, what should he think? Or what do you want him to think?
I just want him to know that, like, he was loved, and he's got, I think, 2 pretty cool parents and a community that loves him. Again, it takes a community. So Rachel running around playing auntie. Shout out to Auntie Rachel. Like, it doesn't take just us.
I know.
So I want, obviously that was like 5 sentences.
Yeah, it's all good.
But just like that, he's loved by his community.
Yeah.
Like because wherever we go, like, people are like down to help, which I'm so grateful for.
Yeah, no, like anything else.
He's also not like, you ever been around somebody and don't like their kids?
Yeah.
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 You don't got to say their names, but
No, that's cool. I know. I would never do that. Yeah.
I don't want, I didn't raise a kid like that, which makes me feel good.
Right. Or you're not raising.
Yeah. Raising.
Yeah. Raising.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex, 1 word to describe your journey thus far.
Captivating.
Oh.
Now, you came with the dictionary today.
I've never used him.
And when your son is old enough to watch this, what do you hope he thinks?
Encouraged.
Oh, so
Dope.
you listened to the rules. I did not.
Yeah.
Noted. Got it.
Well, 2 things. A little story to end. When we played 3-on-3 at Zeddy's gym, it's probably been one of the first or second times we met. And we were playing. I won't lie. Alex was busting ass that day. I won't lie. He was cooking. I think we won a few of the games, and then we played you, and I sent your shit. Like, I blocked the shit out of you.
Oh,
You did a step back, and I blocked it off the wall.
He did.
And then the very next play, you got the ball, and you went right back at me like it didn't happen. And honest, I never told you this, but right then and there, I was like, I respect this girl's game.
Aww.
Because you're out there hooping with the dudes. You didn't give a fuck. You at all. Like, I sent your shit into the wall. It bounced off the wall and back into the play. Like, you didn't care. I was like, yo, this girl's relentless. Like, to go out there and hoop, and you didn't like waver. You belonged out there, and then when I was in high school, Vaughan Road, you played Eastern Commerce at the Humber Classic, and Humber just won a championship the other day. You were down in the 4th quarter, and the gym was packed, and I know you like crowds, and I swear to God, you put on a cape.
Was this the 4 overtime?
4, yes, the 4 overtime game.
It should have been 5th.
It should have been the 5th. You hit like 6 threes in the
That
OT.
was crazy.
That was one of the craziest
that
high
was
school
crazy.
games I've ever seen in my life. And from then on, I was like, yo, I've been a fan. And I've seen you play. I played against you in London. I've seen you through your career. You never changed your work ethic. You never changed your discipline. You're always true to basketball. And as someone I consider myself a hooper. I try to be as pure as I can to the game. I love basketball more than probably anything. And watching you go through that and never wavering, regardless of playing time, regardless of opportunity, you've always been the same. You've always shown up the same. So that's why I'm not surprised you have the family you have, the woman that you have, and the life that you have, because you've been doing this in other ways, and now it's just coming out in different ways. So I thank you guys for being here. Number 1. This is amazing to see a couple like you guys here. You both have a lot, and I wish you nothing but the best. I know you guys are going to be fine.
Thanks for having us.
Of course.
I appreciate
It's been amazing.
you.
No
That was
doubt.
fun.
Yeah, it really was. It really was.
Wasn't too much. Thank you. Y'all did amazing.
Hey, the next time we'll be here, the chess set will be right here.
Yeah. No, we'll be playing while talking.
We should probably get a camera down just to watch all the moves.
Not the camera shot.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
Hey, if you like this episode, I'm sure you're going to like the other ones. So, of course, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.